So hello everyone. Today I'll be completing mock MCQ for paper 1 MCQ modern history from question number 1 to 100, and the next from 101 to 200 I'll be completing in the next video. So this will be part 1 and part 2. So this will be focused entirely on mains preparation for paper 1 MCQ modern history portion. So let's get the video started. Which among the following was the part of the Gandhi-Irwin Agreement of 1931? So the Gandhi-Irwin Agreement of 1931, part of the agreement was the release of political prisoners except those guilty of arson. Next, in which of the places did the imperial government not establish a university? So the answer is Delhi. By the Universities Act of 1857, the three universities were established, that is Madras, Bombay and Calcutta, whereas Delhi was established only in 1932. Which Indian academician, activist and social reformer was Mahatma Gandhi's mentor? So the mentor of Mahatma Gandhi was Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Home Rule League at Pune was organized by, so this was organized by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Next, the viceroy who made the partition of Bengal was Lord Curzon. The partition of Bengal was made on October 16th, 1904, 1905, and this was declared by Lord Curzon. The first president of the Indian National Congress 1885 was at Bombay was, so the answer is W.C. Banerjee, Umesh Chandra Banerjee, who was the first president at Bombay, and the second Indian National Congress was held in Calcutta, and the third was held in Madras, and the fourth was held in Allahabad. So the first president was Umesh Chandra Banerjee, second was Dadabhai Naoroji. Mahatma Gandhi took part in the 1924 Belgaum session. Next, 1920s non-cooperation movement involved. So the non-cooperation involved the renunciation of government titles, boycott of legislatures of course, non-payment tax, and the soldiers were asked to lay down their arms. So the answer is all of this. Next, which of the following is not correctly matched? So Raja Ram Mohan Roy started the Brahmo Samaj. Yes. Swami Dayanand Saraswati started the Arya Samaj 1875. And N.E. Besant was not the founder of the Theosophical Society because Theosophical Society was formed in 1875 by H.S. Olcott and Madame Blavatsky. So the answer is D, that N.E. Besant is not the founder. The in 1639, the East India Company is obtained the list of Madras from the ruler of. So the answer is Chandragiri, who obtained a list from Madras. Brahmo Samaj was founded in 1828 by. So the Brahmo Samaj was founded by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Dayanand Saraswati established the Arya Samaj in 1875. Next, Mahatma Gandhi started the Quit India movement in the city of. So the answer is Bombay in August of 1942. Next, the Rollout Act was passed to. So the Rollout Act was also known as the Anti-Revolutionaries Act, and this was an act to curtail the nationalist and revolutionary activities. Next, the first presidency created in India during the British rule was the first presidency that was created in Madras Presidency, which was the first place where the British entered, created a presidency. When the control of Indian government was assumed by the British Crown, the Lord Viceroy was Lord Canning. So the Queen's Declaration of 1858 by Queen Victoria at Allahabad, where the British Crown assumed the sovereignty of the Indian government, was under the viceroyship of Lord Canning, who accompanied Bhagat Singh to bomb at the Central Legislature in Delhi. So he was accompanied by Badukeshwar Dutt. And Next, question number 16. Before independence, there were approximately 568 princely states in India, which is the largest princely state to join the Indian Union. So the largest princely state was the state of Hyderabad, which was founded by Genghis Khan or Genghis Khan. Next, who founded the party called the Forward Bloc? So the Forward Bloc was founded in 1939 May by Subhash Chandra Bose after his disappointment with the working of the Congress. Next, Clive led, uh, Clive led the foundation of the British Empire by winning the Battle of. So the Battle of Plassey was fought, and this led to the establishment of the British rule in India by Robert Clive in 1757, June of 21, and it was fought between Sirajudullah and Robert Clive, who started the newspaper Kesari. So Kesari was written by B.G. Tilak. Kesari was written in Marathi, whereas Marathi was written in English. The Swaraj Party, founded by C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru, advocated the policy of the Swaraj Party, or also known as the pro-changer, and they advocated policy of council entry and wrecked the functioning of the council. Deliverance Day was observed by, so the Deliverance Day was observed by Muslim League in 1939. So why was the Deliverance Day celebrated? Deliverance Day was celebrated when the British government entered the Second World War without the concurrence of the Indian government, without the concurrence of the Indian leaders. So the Indian leaders staged a walkout of the legislators, and this walkout was celebrated by the Muslim League as Deliverance Day in 1939. Next, the principle of communal representation in India was first introduced by the government of the Indian Council Act of 1909, which was referred as the Communal Act, for giving communal representation to various religion, and it was also famous for the carrot stick policy. Next, Mahatma Gandhi was referred to as the father of nation by, so the father of nation was first referred to Mahatma Gandhi by Subhash Chandra Bose after his addressal, after which he started his attack on India along with the INC. Subhash Chandra Bose was first referred to as Netaji by, so Netaji was referred to by Gandhi. The Indian national anthem Jana Gana Mana was first sung in, so the Jana Gana Mana was sung first in 1911 at Calcutta, and whereas the national song was sung in 1897 also in Calcutta, Golde Vande Matram. The SARDA Act was passed with effect from, so the SARDA Act was passed in 1929, which increased the age of marriage for both boys and girls, and it was also known as the Marriage Act or the SARDA Act. The Indian Independence Bill was passed by the British Parliament on, so the Indian Independence Bill was passed on 4th of July 1947, and it came into effect on 15th of August 1947. The Cripps mission was a post-strategic on a crashing bank was said by Mahatma Gandhi about the Cripps mission of 1942. Who was the queen of Rani of Nagaland during British rule? So Rani was Gaidinloi, who played an active role in the non-cooperation movement, and she was also part of the Heraka movement. And Rani Gaidinloi was an active Gandhian. Hindustan Republican Association was founded in 1928, which was started by Bhagat Singh. Hindustan, no, it's not Bhagat Singh, it's Chandrasekhar Azad, sorry. So Chandrasekhar Azad was the founder of the Hindustan Republican Association in 1928, who announced the goal of British policy in India was the grant of dominant status. So the grant of dominant status was given by Lord Irwin, in which year Gandhi started the Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad. So the Sabarmati Ashram was founded in 1915 was by Mahatma Gandhi, after which he shifted his ashram from Sabarmati to Wardha in 1932, following the failure of the uh, Round Table Conference and the non-cooperation movement. Muslim League passed the famous Pakistan resolution in the year, so he passed in the year 1940. Who of the following led the Chittagong Army Raid? So the army raid was led by Surya Sen, also known as Master Da, in 1930, April, April of 1930. Which session of the Indian National Congress was presided over by Mahatma Gandhi in 1924 in the Belgaum session? Following the rift pro between the pro changer and the no changer, Mahatma Gandhi decided to preside over the Indian National Congress, and this was the only Indian National Congress that he presided over. In which year Rowlatt Act was passed? So the Rowlatt Act was passed in 1919. Dundee March. In which year the Congress Socialist Party was formed? The Congress Socialist Party was founded in 1934 by prominent members of the Congress like J.B. Narayan, who believed in socialism and socialistic principle. Dundee March was part of the which movement of the nationalist struggle? So Dundee March was a part of the civil disobedience movement of 1930, which started in 12 of March and which started from 12 of March in Dundee, and it was formally opened on 8th of April through the salt by through the salt satyagraha. Name the first Indian selected to the Indian Civil Service. So the Indian Civil Service Act was passed in 1861, and it came into effect in and the Indian Civil Service Act was passed in 1861. In 1863, the first Indian ICS, or the Indian Civil Service, was Satyendranath Tagore, who was a descendant of Rabindranath Tagore. Who among the following viceroy passed the Ilbert Bill? So the Ilbert Bill was passed by Lord Ripon, and Lord Ripon is also known as the father of local self-government in India. Ilbert Bill is a bill that allows the Indian lawyers to try other foreign judges. The red shirts were the band of supporters of Muhammad Khan Abdul Jafar Khan. Red shirts, also known as Khudai Khidmagar, or the red shirts, and they operated mostly from the northwestern frontier province, prominently in Peshawar, in present-day Pakistan. Next, who among the following renounced the knighthood in protest against the Jallianwala Bagh killings? So this was given by Rabindranath Tagore, which he was awarded in 1913 for his literature work Gitanjali. Who among the following was not the founder of the Muslim League in India? So the Muslim League was not founded by M.A. Jinnah. Mohsin Mugh, Salimullah, and Aga Khan were the three founders of the Muslim League, where Aga Khan served as the first president of the Muslim League. Who among the following proposed the safety valve theory? So the safety valve theory was proposed by A.L. Hume. So what is safety valve theory? Safety valve theory is basically a theory in which the aspirations of the Indian people will be known by an organization which will relay the information to the British government about the whereabouts and the feelings of the Indian people. So this group was represented by the Indian National Congress, which A.L. Hume thought that after forming this organization, he will be able to control the people better, to check the feelings of the people, and this was known as the safety valve theory, in which with which conspiracy Bhagat Singh was tried by the British. So the Bhagat Singh was tried in the Lahore conspiracy case, in which year the Vernacular Act was passed. So the Vernacular Press Act was passed in 1875, and it was passed by Lord Lytton, and this Vernacular Press Act is also known as the Gagging Act, in which media personnel, newspapers were silenced if they spoke against the government. Who among the following is not associated with the Indian National Army? So so Ras Bihari Ghosh is not associated with the Indian National Congress. Which of the following in which year the Congress passed the Purna Swaraj resolution? So the Purna Swaraj resolution was passed in 1921 December of 31st 1929 to except for complete independence from the British government, not for dominion status. In which year the Hindu Remarriage Act was passed? So the Hindu Remarriage Act was passed by Lord Canning, and it was passed in 1856 in order to allow Hindu women to be married when their husband died. Macaulay's Minute was associated with so Macaulay's Minute was associated with the teaching of English as a medium of instruction, and this replaced the court language of India with English, whereas formerly it was Persian. The Servants of Indian Society was formed by Servants of Indian Society was formed by G.K. Khokhley in 1904. In which year Words Dispatch was introduced? So the Words Dispatch was passed in 1854, and the Words Dispatch led to the establishment of 3 universities in India in 1857, particularly in Madras, Calcutta, and Bombay. So the Words Dispatch was responsible for the establishment of 3 universities in India. Who of the following hoped to use the Congress as a executive office? So the answer has been Hume. Abhinav Bharat was formed in 1904, and it was established by Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, which was a revolutionary society. The self-respect movement in Tamil Nadu was formed by the self-respect movement was formed by Ramaswamy Naikar. The Swadeshi movement was launched, and the famous boycott resolution was passed on. So this was passed on 7th of August 1904, and the Swadeshi and the boycott movement was passed when the uh, partition of Bengal was announced on July of 1905. And formerly, the partition of Bengal occurred on 16th of October 1905. So next, name the newspaper started by Gandhi in Africa. So the answer is Indian Opinion. So Indian Opinion was started by Gandhi in 1909 in South Africa, along with the Natal Congress. In which year the Congress passed a resolution on fundamental rights? So the resolution of fundamental rights was passed at the Lahore session, not Lahore, in the Karachi session. Sorry. So the resolution of fundamental rights was passed in Karachi session in 1931, right after the execution of Bhagat Singh on March 23rd, 1931. Next, how many followers Gandhi started the Dandi March? So Gandhi started with 78 followers. Next, in which act diarchy was introduced? So diarchy was introduced at the states in 1919 by the Government of India Act 1919. A women's regiment of the Indian National Congress was formed by Bose and was named after the Rani of Jhansi. Next, 63. Komakata Maru incident is related to the so the answer is Indian migrant labor. The Komakata Maru incident occurred in 1914 when a ship called the Komakata Maru traveled from Singapore to Canada, and this was stopped by the British authorities, and this led to violence, and this is known as the Komakata Maru incident. Identify the people who persuaded the Gandhiji to come to Champaran. So he was persuaded by Rajkumar Shukla, who persuaded him to come to Bihar to look over the problems of indigo cultivation, also known as the Tingatia cultivation. In which of the following places Kutai Kid marker played an active role? So, as I've told you, it played an active role in Peshawar. Yukandar Ashram was the headquarters of the Gada body which was founded in. So, Yukandar Ashram of the Gada body was established in San Francisco. Next, in which session of the Indian National Congress the president of the session, Dadabhai Naoroji, declared Swaraj as the goal? So, it was declared by Dadabhai Naoroji in the Calcutta session of the Indian National Congress in 1906. The Bhagat Singh Sukhdev Rajguru was hanged on 23rd of March 1931. So, as I've told you, Bhagat Singh Sukhdev and Rajguru were hanged on 23rd of March 1931, and after that, the resolution of fundamental rights was passed in the Karachi session. Which of the following organized Abhinav Bharat? So, Abhinav Bharat was founded by V.D. Savarkar. Katamaro, as I've told you, is actually a ship. Jalan Balabak is located in the city of, so the answer is Amritsar in Punjab. Jalan Balabak occurred in April of 1919. Next, which of the native rulers first signed the Treaty of Subsidiary Alliance with Lord Wellesley? So the answer is Nizam of Hyderabad. Nizam of Hyderabad was the first ruler who signed the Subsidiary Alliance. Battle of Plassey was followed by a Night of Eternal Gloom, commanded a Bengali poet, and this was said by Nabin Chandra Sen, who was a famous poet before Rabindranath Tagore. Which of the following was the founder president of the Partana Samaj in 1867? So the Partana Samaj was founded by Amatra Pandurang, who established it in 1867 with association with Keshav Chandra Sen. Next, Annie Besant tried to best the tried to speed the home rule movement through one of the newspaper. So this newspaper was known as the New India. New India was founded by Annie Besant. Bande Mataram, written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, was first sung by. So this was first sung by Rabindranath Tagore in 1867 Calcutta session of the Indian National Congress. Which of the following act created a federal court? So the federal court was created by the Government of India Act 1935, which later became the Supreme Court. Gandhi led the historic march on and publicly violated the Salt Law. So this law was violated in 6th of 6th of April 1930, which was started on 12th March and it ended on 6th of April 1930 by breaking the Salt Law. Next, by which of the following acts the British introduced the concept of separate electorates on the basis of religion for the first time? So the concept of separate electorate was founded by the Indian Council Act. So the answer is both the Indian Council Act of 1909 or the Morley Minto Reform. So both the answers are correct, but specifically this is the correct answer. By which of the in which American city did Swami Vivekananda deliver his famous lectures before the delegates of the World Religions Congress? So this was given by Swami Vivekananda in Chicago in 1893. Which of the following Indian freedom fighters is credited with popularizing the festival of Ganesh Chaturvedi? So this was given by B.G. Tilak in 1897, and he popularized it to create enthusiasm and create a feeling of unity of the Indians towards the British government. The state of oath was annexed by the British by using the this was done by using the doctrine of lapse. Who are the following is who was the founder of the Ascetic Society of Bengal? So the Ascetic Society of Bengal was founded by Sir William Jones. Who was chosen as the president of the Khilafat movement? So the Khilafat movement was the Mahatma Gandhi, who introduced the Widow Remarriage Act. So Widow Remarriage Act was passed by Lord Canning in 1856. Who was known as Loktawadi? So Loktawadi was Gopal Hari Deshmukh. The second session of the Indian National Congress was held in, so it was held in Calcutta. The first session was held in Bombay, second is Calcutta, third is Madras, and fourth is Allahabad. The first session of the Indian National Congress was led by Umesh Chandra Chatterjee. Second was led by Dadabhai Naoroji in Calcutta session. Indian Independence League was established by was established by Subhash Chandra Bose. Sorry. The Indian Independence League was led by Raj Bihari Bose. The lady representative from India in the second roundtable conference was led by Sarojini Naidu. The term Dastak means duty-free trade. Arrange the following sequence. So Ilbert Bill was passed in 1881. Pitch India Act was 1793. And Rowlatt Act was passed in 1919. And Gandhi Irwin Pact was signed in 1931. So the answer is uh, DBCA. So DBCA. So the answer is B. In which year the Permanent Settlement Act was introduced? So the Permanent Settlement Act was passed in 1793 by Lord Cornwallis. The Gujarati translation of "Into this last" is Sarvo Daya, means "unto the last" or inclusive growth. Who was the first Portuguese governor in India? So the first Portuguese governor in India was Francisco de Almeida. In which place Gandhi started his agitation to protect the interests of the indigo cultivators? So it was started in Champaran Satyagraha, which was the first uh, movement he started in India. Who was the Nawab of Bengal at the time of Plassey War in 1757? So the answer is Sirajuddaulah. Who among the following wrote the Bande Mataram? So it was written by Bangam Chandra Chatterjee, which was a part of a novel called Anandmat, which was written in 1882. Which of the following led the Sepoy Mutiny in Bihar? So the Bihar Mutiny was led by Kunwar Singh, who was a uh, landlord who was dissatisfied with the British government, who recommended the establishment of the first university in the country. So this was passed by the Woods Dispatch, which established 3 universities in India, in Bombay, Madras, and Calcutta. So the last question for today is, who among the following recommended the revenue settlement to be made directly with the cultivators? So this was said by Reed and Monroe. So with this, the first part of MCQ modern history has come to an end for mains. In the next video, I'll be covering from 101 to 200. So have a great day and study hard.